Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on how to create the world's wealthiest economy. So how can you bring the world's wealthiest economy to fruition? What measures do you need to implement in order to draw forth the world's wealthiest economy? Is the world's wealthiest economy deemed to be an entrepreneurial economy with a universal basic income and the automation of jobs? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. As per the creation of the world's wealthiest economy, it will involve abolishing the mandate to attend the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory indoctrination camp, which some people refer to it as a mandate to attend a K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory concentration camp, while other people refer to it as the mandate to attend the K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory prison. No one should be sentenced to a prison for being born. It is inhumane. So, people do not understand the ramifications nor the repercussions of how adversely this impacts economy. When someone is dispossessed of 37,440 hours of their sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious time, it renders them all the more poised, all the more primed, and all the more apt to succumb to destitution, indigence, poverty, and insurmountable debt in the pending future. When you attend the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp, you do not receive any remuneration, you do not receive any compensation, you do not receive any grant, you do not receive any stipend, you do not receive any benefits, you do not receive any pension. So, what do you receive? Well, the repercussions appertaining to attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp are indeed eminently grave. They are direful and calamitous, to say the least. You will succumb to stunted growth, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You will also succumb to agony, distress, accelerated cellular aging, reduced intelligence, depression, chronic stress, chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, and undermined well-being, and of course, chronic anxiety and poor health. It is inhumane that individuals against their own volition are sentenced to a K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory prison. And when they graduate from the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp, they do not receive any remuneration, any compensation, any revenue, any pension, any benefits, any stipend, any grant, even though they were dispossessed of at least 37,440 hours of their sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious, invaluable time. They cannot recuperate that time. It is a sunk cost. And of course, when they graduate from the 13-year K through 12 insalubrious compulsory concentration camp, they do not have behemoth brands, nor income generating assets. Unbeknownst to most people, the only way to get out of poverty is to have your income generating assets generate enough cash inflows as an aggregate to offset your recurring expenses. That is the only way to get out of poverty. You never want to relinquish your sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious, invaluable time for a pittance of a non-subsistence, measly, infinitesimal minimum wage imposed by an employer. The employer's goal is to pay the employee the absolute bare minimum amount of revenue for the absolute maximum amount of time worked. Whereas the employee's goal is to generate the absolute maximum amount of revenue for the minimum amount of time worked. Their interests are diametrically opposed to one another. They are unequivocally unaligned. It is univocal that the employer's overarching goal is to maximize the company's profits in tandem with maximizing the wealth of the company's shareholders, which is not conducive to maximizing the well-being of their employees. Employees begrudgingly acquiesce to working real practical jobs based on voluntary demand, just so that they can make an earnest, valiant attempt to keep themselves afloat, even though these jobs do not even pay 1/4 of a subsistence wage for attaining basic needs, such as housing needs. However, it does provide them with a modicum of fleeting, ephemeral, perishable, short-term relief that they can utilize to buy food products in order to sustain themselves. So, when you abolish a mandate to attend the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory indoctrination camps or concentration camps or prisons, you wind up liberating people at a young age. And they can commence cultivating behemoth brands across a multitude of social media platforms, as well as profusely producing income-generating assets, so that by the time they reach adulthood, they would have not only established a multitude of recurring revenue streams, but will hopefully have been able to build up an exorbitant amount of sizable recurring revenue streams that have the latent potential to generate them revenue in perpetuity. You never want your earnings potential to be tethered to your time. You never want your earnings potential to be fettered nor capped. You want it to be limitless, unlimited, and boundless. You never want to be stymied or impeded, nor obstructed, nor encumbered, nor stifled. You never want to stagnate nor regress. You always want to be able to thrust your life in a forward movement trajectory. You do not want to defer striving to reach your overarching goals and higher aspirations. You want to be able to actualize your latent potential. You want to be able to cultivate behemoth brands across a multitude of popular social media platforms so that you can leverage your social media channels as potent marketing vehicles for vectoring your target market to your product pages, where they have the autonomy to procure your product offerings from. You could also sell service offerings if you so choose to do so. Your website can serve as the hub for your product offerings, service offerings, and your content. So, income generating assets that you have autonomy to create can be in the form of videos, archivable live stream broadcasts, songs, podcast episodes, audiobooks, customizable templates, custom-made print-on-demand merchandise, software applications, mobile applications, and of course, photos. You never want your earnings potential to be tethered to your time. And by producing these monetizable intellectual properties, you will have the latent potential to potentially generate extreme wealth if your monetizable intellectual properties build traction and transcend into becoming highly lucrative, monetizable intellectual properties that have attained viral status. You want to produce content that is engagement worthy, like worthy, share worthy, algorithm recommendation worthy, and of course viral worthy. You want to produce content that is apt to yield high engagement rates, high watch times, high viewership rates, and high audience retention rates. You want to produce content that is apt to build traction and transcend into becoming viral content that your brand advocates are innately inclined to disseminate on social media websites. Furthermore, you also want to produce products that are not just meritorious, but that also assuage unmet needs among your target market. You want to become a dominant market competitor in the niche markets that you vie for market share in. So, do not shirk on strategically working hard as an entrepreneur. So, what else is needed to create the world's wealthiest economy? Well, beyond liberating people's time, if business stifling regulations were abolished, if evisceration fees were abolished, this would help facilitate the creation of the world's wealthiest economy. Furthermore, if a universal basic guaranteed income was enacted in which people can voluntarily pay into, this would also help to facilitate the creation of the world's wealthiest economy. Additionally, if as many jobs as viably possible were outsourced to robots, artificial intelligence, algorithms, and automated processes, then this would help to facilitate the creation of the world's wealthiest economy. Technological advancements can help to facilitate the creation of the world's wealthiest economy. They allow businesses to operate more efficiently and minimize their reliance on human laborers to maintain their business operations. It is far more efficacious if you can maintain your business operations by outsourcing jobs to robots, artificial intelligence, algorithms, and automated processes than it is to do so if you rely on human laborers in order to be able to maintain your daily business operations. So, we want the workforce to work in capacities that allow them to have an unlimited, unfettered, uncapped, limitless earnings potential. Furthermore, we want the workforce to be able to generate extreme wealth so that they can significantly elevate their standard of living. It would also help enhance the money multiplier effect if there were more wealth circulating throughout the economy. But there's no basis for the money multiplier effect being enhanced if people are destitute, impoverished, indigent, and insurmountably indebted. So there are a myriad of measures that can be undergone in order to draw forth the world's wealthiest economy. It's not just a matter of eliciting a free market economy. It's not just a matter of abolishing the mandate to attend the 13-year insalubrious K-12 compulsory concentration camps, nor is it just a matter of abolishing business stifling regulations, nor is it a matter of just abolishing evisceration fees, nor is it a matter of just outsourcing as many jobs to robots, artificial intelligences, algorithms, and automated processes. But it's also a matter of more people working real private sector jobs based on voluntary demand that allow them to have unlimited earnings potential so that they have the latent potential to generate extreme wealth. By working as an entrepreneur, your earnings potential is limitless. Entrepreneurs have produced multi-billion-dollar franchises. You want to be able to work in creative capacities. You want to be able to work as an entrepreneur or as a creative innovator or inventor. You want to be a forward-thinking maverick. You want to be a pioneer of your own destiny. You want to be able to actualize your latent potential and manifest a prosperous, auspicious, abundant, and blissful future for yourself into reality. You do not want your future to be dreary, drab, grim, bleak, nor dismal. You want your life to be replete with abundance in every facet. If people were to embrace health optimization measures, this would also help to facilitate the creation of the world's wealthiest economy. Because your health is your wealth. If you have vigorous, robust, stellar, optimal health, you're going to be able to work more productively. So, the world's wealthiest economy can be deemed to be an entrepreneurial economy with a universal basic income and the automation of jobs. The world's wealthiest economy is a free market economy with a voluntary universal basic income that you are at liberty to be furnished with if you pay universal basic income fees. If you forgo doing so, then you forgo receiving the universal basic income. A universal basic income could furnish purchasing power and wealth to anyone who is amenable to pay a universal basic income fee. I hope that you deem this video to be insightful and enthralling, as well as captivating, mesmerizing, and riveting. Fortunately, much of my elation, much of my relief, and much of my gratification, it is viably possible to create the world's wealthiest economy in the age of automation. It is feasible, it is doable, and it is deemed to be a viability. Once again, I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and informative. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.